Ma'am, for the benefit of the schools, could you tell us something about the performance indicators and how the schools need to read those? Because that is where the schools need to understand it better.
Right. So the performance indicator, level 1 at this for this performance indicator, it says teachers make use of good textbooks while teaching, and students follow instruction. That's at the minimum level. So that is level 1. And this happens in most of the time. Teachers using textbooks is all the time happening, and children are disciplined, quietly sitting and following instruction. That's probably the level 1. What is your learning objective? Whether what is it that you want to do? If I'm teaching a lesson on vegetables, what do I want to communicate to the children? At the end of the class, the children have understood that eating vegetables is good for me. Starting, understanding that the interconnectivity of the subjects, like which I mentioned to you, that music is a subject and the lesson is connected with that. English is a subject and you connect it with a role play there or a drama, or English is a subject and you connect it with painting. Mathematics is a subject and you can connect it with literature also. You can connect it with science. When you're in the middle school, when you give a homework saying that find out what is the amount of electricity bills in your own street, find out from the people, and find out what is your suggestion for it, write it down. So they are doing, and then make a statistic pie chart out of it. So they are doing mathematics, but they are also using energy, finding out. So they are learning science, the impact of real life science impact, and also they are writing it down. So they also include mathematics. So all
working on 21st century skills, also working on interpersonal skills and the society connect and all those things come automatically.
And then when you make them into a group and do it, they are also into collaboration. They work together, they collaborate also. Teachers make use of experiential learning methods in their classroom. How do they make the experience? A role play, children acting in the class or children dancing in the class. It becomes a experiential learning. They are doing it in the classroom. And are they taking them out of textbooks? Are they connecting it with real life? That is something very important. Then only we can assure that the learning is happened. When we are talking about volume and the area and all of that, I used to tell the children, can you bring the list of things that we use in volume in real life? Initially, they really don't know what I'm asking also. Then slowly they understand I'm talking about, oh, okay, water is, water bottle is in liter, milk is in liter, petrol. Then they come out of it, connected. Where is volume used? Otherwise, it will remind us a definition for the child. So connecting with that. And also strategies for the Divyang students. Some kind of a special needs children, whether there is any facility program for the pedagogical strategies are there for them, is something which is also do that. And informal assessment is something integrated in the lesson plan. How do you start the class with any question? You start the class with any question. What did you do about it? What do you think about it? Can you show gravity? And the last level is a dynamic evolving level. Always you'll see that school is expected to have a policy with regard to the use of this teaching. Whatever is there, once it becomes a policy, you'll see that people use it. Otherwise, it is not sustainable. During pandemic time, one of our schools, they prepared about 1,000 teaching aids because they had time. They had time during pandemic time. They were in school and children were online only. They prepared teaching aids in the classroom. Simple teaching aids were prepared by schools. So this because the methodology demands it. The policy demands it. So it is there. And then lesson plan are skills and the students would need for future. That is something very important. If that is clear, we have to work on the digital skills for children, because that is going to be the order of the day. And creativity and all of that, how are we providing that? Any lesson can be creatively presented. So this and the multiple modes of teaching methods are used, and the teachers are aware of the diverse and gifted students. The higher order thinking, Bloom's taxonomy on the top level, we talk about the analytical and the creative level. Our children are able to create something based on whatever they have learned, they have created. I always ask this question: have you done any experiment at home? Then the children tell us, so many things they like to share with us. In the baking soda, I added this. It came out as a volcano, all that. Yeah. So are they trying out? That indicates a scientific temper. Marks do not indicate the scientific temper of the child. Marks do not indicate. That's why many children, they get 90% maths. They take maths in 11 and 12 and then they become very, very poor performers because they don't have that skill. They have managed the examination well. So examination doesn't come in picture at all in SQAA. It talks
Yes,
about
and
skill.
the application of the learning is very, very important. I really like the idea, ma'am, when you said that not every teacher is creative, but when there is a policy that this learning outcome has to be there, then even if the teacher is not there, like we have different sections and different teachers are doing it at different sections. So that means that student learning outcome is kept into focus and the policy is framed like that, so that the lesson plan is framed like that and student learning outcome automatically falls in place. And looking at the things that they're working, it seems very essential that the teacher training is at the root of all this. No wonder CBSE is laying so much of stress on teacher training, that we need to have 25 hours and 25 plus 25 hours, 50
Right.
hours of teacher training. And because it is only when the teachers are aware, they are trained, that they can go through the 4 hours and also keep in track the PDCA cycle.
One thing for this particular subdomain is also formative assessments are a treasure. The formative assessments that we do, though assessments come in the 1.6, formative assessments give a lot of scope for teachers to be, have a lot of different strategies on that. They can play a word game in the classroom and make it as formative assessment. They can have a Scrabble game in the classroom and make them, for the English assessments. Many things are possible. So formative assessments cannot be pen paper. Many schools do that. And formative assessment should be doing something completely unique.
Actually, if it is a pen paper thing, it defeats its own purpose.
Completely.
It is
So
going
there's
to
a whole
defeat.
lot of scope in that. Correct.
Yes. So when we move on to domain 1.4, which is mainstream physical education and sports, how do we connect? And this is where the CBSE is laying stress on Fit India programs and having a period of sports every day in the school for all children. And how do we integrate that into domain 1, which is curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment? What would you say about that, ma'am?
Yeah. See, first of all, how do we promote it? How do we promote healthy physical education? And it should be rich and engaging. And it's also promote preventive healthcare and healthy lifestyle choices. And the sport is an important aspect of school ambience. That is why, if you see, they've removed in the national education policy, it's not as a curricular, co-curricular or extracurricular activity. It's part of the mainstream now. They're making it a very, very clear that, so that somebody can take it up as a career.
The importance of physical health and education and sports and activities in school is very, very obvious from the fact that an entire subdomain in domain 1 has been dedicated to this. So in domain 1.4, if we are not doing at the school level, if we are not doing anything in this domain, then we will not be able to fill it up. And as you said, that the entire manual is more reflective, like a speed breaker. So where we can step back and reflect what we actually are doing. It's like taking a pause. Right.
Correct.
And because the schools do not have that perspective of having sports and physical activity as a mainstream activity, domain 1.4 will really enlighten these people that this is where you are lacking. Because I believe that most of us, I would include myself also in it, most of us, we will fall back in this domain 1.4, because the place that sports and physical health and education, the place that it should be given, the teacher training, the integration of programs, the children connected to all these, like you were talking about the breadth, we are not doing these activities at the school level. So when we see the performance indicators of subdomain 1.4, we will feel that a lot is left to be desired.
The manual suggests even at a stable level, at least 1 hour every day.
Yes.
4 to 6 hours in a week. It's what is suggested. We're giving
Now,
40 minutes in a week.
right. And now the biggest challenge would be dealing on this front and convincing all stakeholders to come on board with this. Because you need infrastructure, you need equipment, you need that flexibility at the management level, at the parent level, at the teachers level. Children are definitely going to have fun, right?
Absolutely.
But the other people, they need to be convinced that if the child is having fun, it is actually adding value to his learning outcome.
Right.
So that will be a big challenge for the schools.
Right.
And
That
the manual very clearly puts those guidelines about performance indicators in the subdomain.
Absolutely. They are very clearly, it says very clearly that every child should participate. It should be encouraging for children to participate in, children should love being a part of sports activities and games activity. And also, community should also participate in the program. You know, they are talking about parents also. You can probably, parents, some of them can come and coach children after school hours in the school. Engage them in a big way so that they start believing in what we are doing. Otherwise, at that out front, they feel no, he has to go for a tuition. Today, he can't attend extra coaching classes for the physical education class, or the tennis coach, or the tennis coaching class. Or it is not possible. The tips for handling the physical body has to be given in a very, very beautiful manner.
What
Yeah.
I personally feel is that if the teachers are aware of the 21st century skills
Mm.
and they are aware of the basic foundational spirit of NEP, they will automatically gravitate towards the physical health and fitness programs, because all these 21st century skills, they can be developed on the playground. You have team building, you have critical thinking, you have out of the box innovation, you have collaboration, all these concepts.
And apart from this, the ethics and values.
Exactly.
What is that? You have to go and shake hands with, if you lose, also you have to go and shake hands with the winner.
Sportsman spirit, tolerance,
I
resilience.
talk about it, you know, all games start, the first word is love all.
Love all.
Beautiful value there. That's
Yeah.
a very, very beautiful thing. That's a sports tells some sportsmanship, understand with among each other, and all of that, you know, making the other person also win. You don't win, but when your team wins, so everybody is winning along with you.
And it is very, very important that the physical health is addressed so that the mental health is taken care of.
Most of the time, it is physical health which can influence the mind. Vision of life changes. The vision of
Yes.
life, they don't become negative, and one loss happens, they don't become negative, and they don't go into depression. They can fight it out. One thing I wanted to add was any seva activity, serving the society.
And for the benefit of the people who will be watching this video, what kind of Seva projects would you suggest that can be taken at the primary or the pre-primary level? Because those levels I feel leave a greater mark on the children and is long lasting.
That's true. See, the pre-primary level, they are actually the most selfish people. I tell you, my water bottle, my bag,
Yes.
I think I won't give you, I won't allow you to touch. That is their most, the primary children. So there we need to work on that alone. Just work on that. That sharing should be brought in, and telling them, being kind, go and help him, or saying sorry, those words. This is enough at the pre-primary level to take them out of that my thing they have. Just take them out of it, to say that this is our school and this is your friend, and these are everybody's your friend, and you have to share your toys with them. So they get sensitized to the society.
I feel maybe we are not creative or innovative enough to think on those lines, like making envelopes out of the old newspapers and distributing, spending 10 hours of it. I feel very few of us would actually get that idea that Seva can become in such simple forms.